Welcome, members of the Executive Board and Marketing and Sales Directors. My name is Fernando Aguilar, and I will be presenting today the binary classification model I prepared for WidgetsX website. In this presentation, I will go over the website's background, then I will share findings from the data. After, I will discuss the important features that went into the model, then I will review the model, and at last I'll issue my recommendations. WidgetsX website has been up for about a year, and it serves as a marketplace for a national audience. When visitors come into the website, they either make a purchase or they don't. Hence, it is very important that we classify these users as revenue or non-revenue generating according to the behavior that they exhibit on the website. This will enable us to develop marketing strategies according to each kind of user. From the data, we gathered that only 15% of the sessions resulted in sales. Most of the visitors come from New England and East North Central regions. It is also evident from the graphs that most of our revenue comes from these areas as well. This is a visual representation of where most of our visitors are located and where most of our revenue is generated. As we can see, there is still a lot of great areas where WidgetsX could exploit a marketing strategy in order to increase their sales. Most of the sessions that resulted in revenue came directly from a product-related website. Also, the average time spent by a revenue-generating user was almost double uh, the time than a non-revenue generating user. This means that our customer is highly educated and seeks as much information about the product he's about to acquire as possible. Before going into the details of the model, I would like to discuss the top 10 important features that went into it. Um, on the first place, we have page values with a very high importance score. This is somewhat redundant because a high page value would mean that revenue was generated from that site, which is after the fact knowledge that we get from Google Analytics. So, although this is uh, not very relevant to the model, it will become relevant later on when we discuss recommendations for increasing sales. We can see the month of November also plays an important role. So this could be seasonal sales that we could be looking, have a deeper look into it. And then we see administrative pages and product related duration, which also reinforces the theory that our user likes to get as much information about us, the company, and of the product they are acquiring. The main goal of the classification model is to distinguish between revenue and non-revenue generating behavior. That would mean that it could perfectly um, tell one from the other and label them accordingly. So it would label revenue generating as revenue generating and non-revenue generating as non-revenue generating, so that the marketing strategies that we develop for each of these users um, does not go to waste. After performing various machine learning techniques, uh, I came up with the best performing model and the fastest model. We need this model to be able to make predictions in real time, um, because time is of the essence. The non-revenue generating user usually spends 19 seconds on the site approximately. So in that time, we need to tailor a marketing strategy to encourage the user to to exhibit um, other kind of behaviors, such as spending more time in the site, getting more knowledge from the products he or she is acquiring, and make a purchase. So that is why it's very important that the model accurately distinguishes between both behaviors, and that is relatively fast. From the tables, the time difference amongst the classifiers is significantly different. However, these classifiers were trained on a consumer laptop, and they should be deployed into the server and see if these time differences still hold, and if the time for the gradient boosting is still relatively large. If not, the fastest model should be preferred, because we need to make a prediction as fast as possible to uh, deploy the marketing strategy to the individual user according to their behavior. Um, Other recommendations would be to enhance website content, since our user likes to be well informed of the widgets the user is buying. We should also identify pages with high bounce rates and redirect the traffic to other pages. Now, the high page value metric comes to relevance because uh, we should be able to analyze these pages and replicate their characteristics in other pages to increase sales. Another important recommendation is that most of the visitors and customers are very concentrated in just two of the nine mm, segmented regions of the US. So Widgets X should uh, come up with um, a marketing strategy to increase their presence and increase their revenue in the other regions. Thank you.